Creating amazing storylines with movie-like graphics is becoming commonplace in the gaming world. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 reasons why this is happening and why it is even a bigger deal in mobile gaming. There have always been good storylines scattered throughout the gaming world, but for decades these great storylines have been mostly limited to text, leaving it up to the gamer to imagine the story playing out in his or her head. But in the last 7 years, game companies have started putting millions of dollars into the production of just the cutscenes of their game. The reason for this is quite simply because more and more gamers are wanting it, especially in the world of mobile gaming. Part of that is because of a shift in gaming mentality, but a bigger part is because more people that used to just watch movies and shows are converting over to gaming. The first reason why they're switching over and why it's becoming more popular is because gaming is more active than movies or TV shows. Many of you can probably resonate with the notion of watching a really good movie and wishing you were in the movie. Well, that's what a game does. You now have choices that affect the main character of that story, and some games allow you to affect the story itself. Integrating your choices into the storyline often serves to engage you more with the story. You often care more about the outcome because in some ways it kind of affects you. It also really helps the replay value of that story because you could replay that story with a different character or a different class. The second reason is because gaming prolongs the storyline and adds diversity within it. In the last 14 years, Marvel has blown away the world by integrating one storyline through movies and shows and games, and they've been able to integrate it all together with all these amazing actors, and that diversity has gotten more and more people engaged in that storyline. Likewise, a game that has a really good storyline engages you in more than one way. Obviously, the cutscenes reveal the biggest part of the story, but you often learn things about characters' backstories while traveling or doing tasks for people. And then a lot of games will have even deeper storylines, like you can read books in the game about the backstory or the lore of a certain world. So one player might just kind of want the basic story, but another player that wants to go deeper has the ability to go into the library of that town and read a bunch of books about that world and get really engrossed in that story. So not only is it telling the story from lots of different facets, but it is letting you pick how deep you want to get into that story. Lastly, games are easier to put down and pick up than it is a movie. You'll notice when you watch TV shows or movies, you just want to kind of binge until you literally can't keep your eyes open anymore. Whereas that can happen in a game, but often it is easier to put it down and pick it back up later, and it kind of reminds you what quest you're on, and you kind of pick back up on the story as you go. This brings us to the last reason, which is similar to the second reason, but it kind of comes from the other side. Storylines help incentivize more casual gamers to keep playing the game. Those of us who are extremely serious gamers probably don't understand this that well. We see a +1 sword in a game and we think, I wonder if there's a +2, a +3, a +4. We're motivated to keep playing the game because we want that sense of achievement and growing in power, and we're just gonna keep playing. More casual games aren't as motivated by getting a sword with a better number, so a storyline can often incentivize them to keep going. Storyline games also always have an end, which can be attractive to gamers that don't want to just keep playing a game to no end. My wife and I used to play Last Day on Earth together, and she got bored of it before she even unlocked her motorcycle, because once she realized that there wasn't any continuity to the game's story, she just kind of started to lose interest. The simple idea of just advancing in the game and growing in power wasn't motivating enough to her. She needed a storyline. This was also true for her in Clash of Clans. She enjoyed the game and got really into it for a while, but eventually lost interest because there was no storyline to keep her there. So the storyline gives that incentive because they want to finish the storyline. And then if it was an amazing game with an amazing story, they're fine with starting over and playing it again because they'll be going through that storyline again. They just aren't motivated that much by the sense of advancement in the game. Okay, so those are the 3 reasons why the demand is drastically increasing for movie quality storylines in games, which is ultimately why we are seeing game companies pour so many millions of dollars into it. The biggest reason this is an even bigger deal in mobile gaming is simply because it is by far the biggest platform and making the most amount of money, allowing game developers to spend a lot more on the storylines of their games. In my interview with one of the founders of modern gaming, Rod Cousins explains that this has been the trend in gaming for the last 42 years. But I would like to add that mobile gaming also also caters to storyline games better because you can take the story with you and keep advancing in it between classes or during work breaks. Well, that's it guys. The time I took to research and make this video was paid for by MIR4, which is one of, if not the best, movie quality storyline game on the mobile platform. Almost all of the footage for this video is from their game, and I hope I didn't spoil it too much for you because it is an incredibly engaging story. If you guys watched the gameplay video I did for MIR4 several months ago, you will see that I am truly blown away by the story. In fact, I have never had a game grip me with the story as well as this game did. The reason they are sponsoring me is because they wanted me to announce that just recently they came out with a new NFT update that is a little bit different than your normal NFT. Instead of grinding for cryptocurrency, once you get high enough level, you can turn your character itself into an NFT and trade it with other players. So it's an interesting concept, and if you want to know more about it, I have put links in the description and pinned comment of this video. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.